The universe responds to your energy and not your actions. Have you ever felt like no matter how much you do, no matter how much you strive for an outcome, no matter how much you try to achieve, no matter how much you know, how much you hustle and grind or try and do all the work, it still feels like it's never enough. And if that sounds like you, then this video is definitely going to help you because I'm going to be discussing how to really make that internal shift to be able to perceive your life in a different way. And the way that you perceive your world and yourself is everything because your perception is your reality, right? So being able to make that shift from taking action from a place of fear, from a place of scarcity, from a place of survival, into a space of confidence, into a space of groundedness and wholeness and certainty, that is a shift that can absolutely transform your life. And for me, back when I was first starting out, I had no idea what I was doing. I was completely stuck. And I was living on these programs and conditioning that was based in the past. I was living from a place of desperation and from a place of survival. And until I actually started to realize that, that's when I was actually starting to practice and rehearse a new identity. And that's when my reality started to change because I was starting to put my focus and my attention on different things. And I was rewriting the core belief systems that were actually, at the bedrock of my reality. So really just understand that your internal world does create your outer world. And when you start living from the inside out instead of from the outside in, you'll stop reacting to life and you'll start creating your life. You'll start becoming the creator rather than the victim of your life. So it really all starts with you being able to recognize what states that you're in on a daily basis. Because what matters is your energy and your physiological state in the present moment. So becoming conscious of that is the first step to being able to rapidly transform your life. From being able to create a new concept of self, to be able to create a new set of belief systems, to being able to create more prosperity, more abundance in your life, better relationships, whatever outcome it is that you're wanting to achieve, you can achieve it through reprogramming your internal state of being. And the best way to be able to do that is first to start with self-awareness. Start with just being conscious and aware of your energy in your day-to-day life, right? And that means that you need to recognize whenever you're in one of two states, and there's two states that you can be in at any given time. And you can't be in both states at once. So those states are empowered states of being and disempowered states of being, or expanded states and contracted states. And expanded states are states like flow, peace, abundance, love, harmony, freedom, confidence. And contracted states are states like anxiety, fear, doubt, guilt, shame, hopelessness, feeling not good enough, etc. And when you can start to just become aware of those states and become aware of, when you're going into different situations in your life, when you're in an empowered state or whenever you're in an expanded state or a contracted state of being, and then not being able to just modify that immediately, but just being able to observe what state that you're in and observe what thoughts are coming up surrounding that experience and what meanings that you're actually ascribing to that experience, then that's going to really help you to become more conscious of, where your limiting beliefs are and what's actually holding you back from achieving the results that you want in your life. Because the truth is that, we're all sort of programmed and conditioned to believe that we are not good enough, that we're not important, that, the possibilities of our life are limited, when really they're not. We have an infinite amount of potential and we can create whatever it is that we want in this life as long as we believe that that's possible, right? As long as we believe in our self-worth, as long as we focus on abundance and we focus on being grateful rather than focusing on being stressed and lacking and worrying all the time, right? So the hormones science has actually proven that the hormones of stress actually downregulate genes and they create disease. Because living in survival is detrimental to our cellular matrix, right? Our biology. And we need to understand that our thoughts do have an impact on our physiology, and our feelings and our emotional states are really important because they determine the results that we have in our lives. So we need to first just become aware and just become conscious. And as you're going throughout your daily experience, you can practice this. You can have an anchor to the present moment. For example, every time you notice, you know, every time you notice something happen, for example, you notice a breeze roll by, or you notice someone say a certain word, or, you have a reminder on your phone, or you just check in with yourself, or you start to feel a sense of panic or worry, just noticing and picking up on that is where the magic happens, because that's when you allow yourself to become aware. And becoming consciously aware is where you start to take responsibility and you start to reclaim your power to be able to shift, to be able to change your focus, to be able to redirect your energy and your consciousness onto something that you're grateful for, onto something that makes you feel empowered, onto something that makes you feel confident, right? So it's really about being able to direct your energy and your consciousness onto things that actually allow you to evolve and allow you to grow and allow you to become a better version of yourself. And the second step is really being able to mentally rehearse new situations in your life as if it's already happened. Being able to install those new neurological programs into your belief systems, into your mind, that are going to create those new results, that are going to allow you to make a different choice. And just by simply doing the act of mental rehearsal can totally transform the way that you experience your life, because it can actually install new belief systems and rewire your brain to believe as if that event has already happened, as if you've already done it. So being able to mentally rehearse that same situation that normally triggers you and going into that situation in a state of calmness, in a state of confidence, in a state of groundedness and wholeness, that can completely change the way that you experience that event in your life, right? So at first, it does take a lot of conscious effort. It takes a lot of conscious energy. But the more that you practice this, the more you're going to get better at it. And the more it's going to start becoming autonomic. It's going to start becoming a habit. And the more you develop the habit of being conscious and being aware, the more you will be able to take full responsibility of your life and become the creator of your experience, of your reality. And the more you're going to be able to direct your focus and your attention onto things that actually matter to you, on things that actually light you up, on things that actually make you feel good, rather than things that drain your energy and make you feel sad, or make you feel angry, or make you feel triggered, or make you feel scared, or whatever it is. And then just finding things to be grateful for. Being grateful for the fact that you have a roof over your head, being grateful for the fact that you have a job, being grateful for the fact that you have supportive friends and family in your life, being grateful for the fact that you have food on the table, that you already have enough and that you always will have enough. And when you're coming from that, when you're broadcasting that signal into the universe, into the field, then you're just going to draw new events back into your life that are going to attract more of what you actually want, rather than repelling what you want and attracting what you don't want. And, it's really all about stopping, to stop worshipping all the lack in your life and start actually putting your attention on the things that you do want. A lot of people use their imagination destructively about focusing and worrying on what they don't want. And there's a quote from someone, I can't remember who said it, but they said worrying is like praying for what you don't want, right? So, and it really is. So being able to direct your attention and your focus and your consciousness onto things that you actually do want is a game changer. So just go throughout your life and start applying this into your life and just watch what starts to happen. Because once you can start to live from a new identity, once you can start to live from the version of yourself that has already that already has the results that you want, then that's going to allow you to be able to take the necessary action steps in order for you to get there, right? And it's about enjoying the process along the way. It's about enjoying the journey, enjoying your current experience of life, no matter what it is, and just knowing that you're on that path, and that every day you're expanding, you're evolving, and you're growing. Because if you were just only happy once you had a certain level of financial freedom, if you're only happy once you had the perfect relationship, if you're only happy once your circumstances were just right and that you had that thriving multi-million-dollar business, then you would never get there, because you wouldn't be able to be broadcasting the energy that's going to resonate with the reality that you want. And therefore, you're constantly going to be pushing your desires further and further away, because that's how the universe works. It responds to your present energy. It doesn't respond to what you want. It gives you what you are. So I hope this video was helpful for you. Just go ahead and start practicing that in your daily life, and I guarantee you that you're going to see some results. And yeah, just make sure that you leave a comment, like, subscribe, and there's going to be a lot more videos like this coming out very soon. So stay tuned, and I'll see you all in the next video.